Yes.
How you doing?
Doing good.
No, how you doing? That's a little phrase here on the show. Yeah.
How you doing?
Let's talk about your book. Excuse me, your book. I got to say, when I first saw the book, I was like, why is it on a binder? Why is it like this? And then I started reading it, and I said, oh, my gosh, I got to finish this book, A. And B, it is so comfortable to turn the pages on the binder. Did you self-publish this?
Yeah, actually, that's a promo issue. I got a book
This
for
is the
you.
galley. It's called the galley.
It's a galley. See,
Yeah.
I'm learning. As,
Yeah.
as you can see, I'm a new publisher.
Yeah.
But I
Welcome
actually
to the book game.
I actually did publish it myself. Me and a partner
Good.
started a company. So for our book and for other authors to get out. So this is the first title on the publishing company.
So how do people get the book? They go to the website?
Yep, buyurbanbooks.com.
All right, you guys, I'm going to repeat that website over and over, but let's get into the book. Okay. So Corey Harris is an NFL or was an NFL player, holds a bowl ring, has a novel out. It's brand new. It's called S.L.O.W, which stands for Secret Lives of the Wives, meaning the wives of the NFL.
Yep, the secret's out though. So
do tell. And what makes your wife any different?
Well, this is the thing. It's about the possibilities. You know, it wouldn't make my wife different if I was a guy that wasn't taking care of home. And you got to understand, I was married and divorced, so I was one of those husbands that wasn't taking care of home. And to a degree, I'm one of those people. And so it's not just about other people's relationships. It's about the possibilities that can happen if you're not taking care of home.
Was your first wife having an affair on you?
I never had a videotape, but if I had to bet all my money, I would.
Yeah. You think it was with one of your fellow NFL players, whether your team or somebody else's team?
No. I mean, it's in the book what we call an OJ.
What's that?
I know, Ordinary Joe.
Okay.
The kind of guy that most of guys like me don't think that our wives would cheat with. You know, you tend to think that if my wife is gonna mess around, she's gonna mess around with somebody with the same amount of money.
Yeah.
But she doesn't need to do that. She already has the BMW, what I call the Bentley, the money, and the way of life.
Right.
So she's looking for some other things.
BMW. Bentley, money, and way of life. I like that phrase, OJ. Class, we're going to be using that here. Ordinary Joe.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and again, this is just me looking at the situation. But I think mine was more about just not being at home. I'm an entrepreneur type of guy. I had restaurant, nightclub. I had everything. And I was just the kind of guy trying to provide all those things all the time, not really listening to what I consider to be nagging. And a lot of guys do that. A lot of guys do it. And see, I was that guy, that young rookie with the money, sneaking in the back door while the NFL superstar was going out the front doing his thing. So I've been on both sides of the fence.
Yeah. So, in your book, you weave tales. Are the majority of these tales true, or things that you've manufactured in your head? And if they're true, have you collaborated with some of your NFL buddies? You know, you got their stories in here.
Well, let me say this: I played for 12 years on 6 different teams. I was in Seattle, Houston, Miami, Detroit, Baltimore. So, in terms of doing research, which is what a lot of people ask me, have I done? I didn't need to do it. I was a part of the research. So, in terms of being fiction, it's a fiction. If you want to put some quotes around it, it is a fiction.
What was your highest earning year? What monetary amount was your highest earning year?
The most I made in 1 year was, I think, $2.5 million.
Yeah.
So, you know, after Uncle Sam get through raping you, you get home with a million, $1.3 million.
But you can still provide a woman with a BMW for that.
You sure can.
The Bentley, the money, and the, what is the W for again?
Way of life.
Way of life. That's it. That's right. You can still provide your girl with a BMW.
Definitely.
So now, when you got divorced from your first wife, do you have children with your first wife?
No.
Thank God.
Thank him.
Did you have to pay alimony to her?
Yeah, actually, I had a prenuptial agreement. And I didn't stick to it. You know, I'm the kind of person, just the way I raised my father's preacher, had a pretty bitter situation. And anytime a relationship, I'm a little nervous here with Wendy.
It's okay.
Starts to deteriorate. Resentment builds on both sides, and both people start doing things, and eventually the relationship gets to the point where it just can't be repaired. And so for me, I stepped back, and I knew the right thing for me to do was to finish what I started, and from the standpoint as much as I could. And at that point, it was only financial. You know, I could have left my ex out cold. I had a solid prenuptial agreement, but I needed to sleep.
You gave her a
too.
few bucks, and that was good for your conscience, and so she's gone on now. Has she gotten with another man to provide her with a BMW lifestyle that you know of?
I don't know. It was a really sticky situation. My wife, right when we started having problems, and I knew that we were going to get divorced, my wife was diagnosed. My ex-wife was diagnosed with brain cancer.
Oh,
so anytime you're already having issues, something like that is almost like having a child. It's like you think the child is going to make it better, and at the point that she had her surgery and came back, it didn't change. The relationship didn't get any better, and so it was a really difficult and touchy situation. But I don't talk to her now. Don't have any hard feelings, but I just deposit the check. And keep it moving.
So you're still paying. You're still giving her money. Now, what does Johnetta say about that? John Tay.
It's part of the past. I think that's part of going on and being happy with someone that's dealing with some of the issues they've had from the past and accepting it. And she loves me completely, and she takes care of my daughter like she's her own. And the issue with my ex-wife, it's never been a problem.
Now, how did you meet John? Say it again.
John Tay.
John Tay.
I was really at my wit's end concerning my situation. I knew it was over. I was a long, bitter divorce. Ray Lewis, Rod Woodson, and Shannon Sharp, we all were taking a trip to Vegas. Ray called me out of the blue, hadn't talked to him, and I don't know when. Rod took Rod Woodson's plane to Vegas. We were in Vegas, chilling, getting ready to have a good time or whatever. And a friend of Ray's called him from Baltimore and told him his girlfriend was in Vegas. He called her. My wife just so happened to be bringing that particular girl back to Vegas.
Wow.
They came and hang out with us. I met her, and I knew from
Is your
that
wife
moment.
a white woman?
No.
I just had to ask, but I figured with a name like John Tay, that's one of them names. So she's probably a sister. But you sports players are notorious for, the white woman thing. And that makes a lot of black women very angry because, it could be said that as soon as you start making some money, you know what I'm saying, you go to the other side. Was your first wife a white woman?
I think that's a stereotype. My first wife was mixed. Her father was white, but he was black, and her mother was black. But I think that's a stereotype to a degree. I think what people don't understand is men in general sometimes like a certain kind of thing, depending on the kind of woman they were raised around. If they weren't raised around a strong black woman, then when they meet a strong, independent black woman, they're not going to know how to deal with it.
Okay.
So they tend to lean towards you do what I say, the old school, the old-minded type of woman, which is either an old school black woman or most white women.
Oh.
So.
Is that so? So you guys have kids, you and John Tay?
No. I have a 16-year-old daughter that I had before my first wife.
That was when you were just getting in. No, because you were in the game for 12 years. How long have you been out of the game now?
A few months. I retired in August.
Okay, so the daughter came somewhere while you were a student at Pepperdine?
My wife went to Pepperdine.
Okay.
I went to Vanderbilt. My daughter was born my freshman year at Vanderbilt.
Oh, okay.
September. My fault going into my freshman year.
Now, how is your baby's mother? How's your daughter's mother? Is she?
Oh, she's cool. She's wonderful. She was
good.
a cheerleader on my first football team. So we've been knowing each other since 9 years old, and it's all good.
So now that football is over, everybody, it's Corey Harris in the studio, and he's got a book out. There's really no words to describe the book. I can read you passages, but that's boring. I want to know more about the author. He's wearing a damn Super Bowl ring. How often do you sit up on this? So it's a novel. It's called S.L.O.W, which stands for Secret Lives of the Wives. And it's about the wives of the NFL. Rita Ewing, who's a friend to the show, she wrote the Home Court Advantage book. Right. I interviewed her on my radio show years ago when that came out. I luxuriated in that book not once. I've read the book 3 times. I love that book. This book right here is the flip side of Home Court Advantage, because Rita's book talked about the men and what they're up to, mostly. I mean, there was some women stuff, but we've always wanted to know what the women do.
A lot of people...
Because all we ever hear that the women do is cry and have heartache because you guys are out, you know better than that. Around.
You know better than that, and the women that I'm talking about know better than that. They at home laughing, pissed at me because I'm talking about it.
Yeah, because you're talking.
Yeah.
I can't wait to get into this book. This is really good. If you want the book, Corey Harris is self-published. He's not yet in the Barnes & Nobles and the Borders, but what's that looking? April 1st. Great. Great.
April 1st. April 1st.
So your book will be available everywhere.
Everywhere, April 1st.
In the meantime, if you want to get on it before now, if they go to the book, they go to your website, will they be able to get it before April 1st?
Oh yeah, you can get it right now on buyurbanbooks.com.
Get it. Go to www.buyurbanbooks.com. And this man's name is Corey Harris, and I can already tell I'm going to love your book. Thank you so much for sending me a galley.
Thank you for having me here.
I wish I could read it fast enough to give you a quote for the back of your actual book, but I guess it's already printed up and stuff.
You know, hopefully I have a second edition, the hardcover and the whole nine. You can give me.
Yeah, but it has to be juicy like that. You know, I love these kind of books.
When you read that, you better lock your door, get your batteries together. Not you, maybe, because you're not a desperate housewife, obviously.
Yeah, no. I don't own batteries or one of them things. I don't have to roll like that, thank God. But thank you so much for coming into the show.
Thanks for having me.
Now, don't be insulted by this, but I love to see my guests walk away. I just like to take them in.